The only thing Dark fans knew to expect of the final season was that it would be extremely complicated, and the Netflix drama did not disappoint. For the majority of the series, we thought there were only two sides in the war to control time, Adam's and Claudia's. But season 3 revealed there's actually a third, led by Ava, who is a future version of Martha from the Mirror Universe.
I've waited for this moment for so long.
While Adam wants to destroy both worlds, Ava wants to keep the cycle intact, and Claudia just wants to save Regina no matter what world that's in. The one thing all three have in common, though, is that they are big f***ing liars and manipulate everyone, even their past selves.
I always was too gullible.
Adam tricks the young Martha from Ava's world into working for him by promising that he'll reveal the origin of the cycle so that she can destroy it. On Adam's orders, Martha rescues Jonas from the 2020 apocalypse, after which they have sex and Martha becomes pregnant. To his credit, Adam does tell Martha what the origin is, but she was not prepared for this truth.
Your son, he is the origin.
So that time-traveling assassin team working for Ava, that is Martha and Jonas's son. So if you thought Martha and Jonas being aunt and uncle was like weird enough, please take a minute to process the fact that Martha is her own son's great-granddaughter and Jonas is his great-great-grandson. And like, we're supposed to root for them to be together? Like, I do not get this. Because Adam doesn't actually believe in paradise and just wants total annihilation,
You've gone insane.
he moves forward with his plan to destroy the origin, which is only possible by using the energy from the apocalypses in both worlds. But destroying the origin means killing Martha again, which proves just how far Adam is from the Jonas who once would have done anything to save her.
We're wrong.
This is when it gets complicated. Meanwhile, Ava hatches her own plot to destroy Adam by splitting reality through a loophole that's created when time stands still for like a fraction of a second during the apocalypse. Ava uses this loophole to send the adult version of Mirror World Bartosz to rescue his younger self so that he can stop Mirror World Martha from rescuing Jonas during the 2020 apocalypse. However, this split reality is what allows Jonas to become Adam, because the Jonas who survives the apocalypse by hiding in the basement is completely different than the Jonas who is killed by Martha in Ava's world.
What are you saying?
I know this all sounds completely crazy, but I swear it makes sense. It doesn't sound like it works, but it works. While Adam and Ava both do everything possible to achieve their opposing goals, they are the two people responsible for keeping the cycle exactly as it is. And in this cycle, both Reginas die, and the Claudia from Adam's world is like, fuck this shit. After remembering the promise her older self made that if everything goes right, Regina will live, Claudia realizes there has to be a third option beyond just following Adam or Ava. And of course, everything in this show comes in threes. We should have known. Claudia kills her mirror self and sets out to find a way to break the cycle because it turns out both Adam and Ava are wrong about what the origin really is. As Claudia discovers, there's an entire third world, the origin world, and it was in that world that H.G. Tannhouse's son Merrick, his daughter-in-law Sonia, and his granddaughter Charlotte were first killed after their car was run off a bridge. A grieving Tannhouse then dedicated himself to finding a way to go back in time to save their lives. But his attempt to do so is what split the world, creating Adam and Ava's mirror world, where everyone is doomed to suffer on an infinite loop.
He was convinced that the ability to time travel would be the world's salvation, but it doesn't bring back salvation, only damnation.
I do love that it felt like no matter what everyone did in Dark, nothing would ever go right. And I like that this explained why everyone is being infected with his unhappiness. The old version of Claudia explains this to Adam, sharing that he and Martha are the glitch in the Matrix, not their son. And the only way to untie the knot is for young Jonas and young Martha to travel to the origin world and stop Tannhouse's family from dying in the first place. Using the apocalypse loopholes in both worlds, Adam rescues the Jonas who wasn't saved by Martha in the split reality Ava created. He then sends Jonas to Ava's world to grab the mirror version of Martha before the older versions of Magnus and Franziska can take her away.
Where are we going?
We're returning someone from the dead.
Martha and Jonas travel to June 21st, 1986, when the passage was first created, so that they can slip into the origin world, which is this trippy experience I do not recommend watching if you are on a hallucinogen. In the origin world, Tannhouse has just fought with his son because he's been so focused on these big existential questions about wormholes and that he hasn't actually been present as a father. So Mark insists that he, his wife, and daughter leave Tannhouse's that night and drive home in the rain. The But Jonas and Martha arrive just in time to stop them from crossing the bridge and are able to convince Marek to return to his fathers and reconcile.
What we know is a drop.
Because of this, Martha and Jonas succeed, and Adam and Ava's worlds are wiped from existence. But Martha and Jonas, and even Adam and Ava, end their existence together, holding hands and finally at peace.
You and I are perfect for each other.
You see? It ended with them being perfect together. It was happy, but it's weird. It is not quite that simple because this is still dark. In the Origin world, a lot of characters we love no longer exist. This includes Jonas, Martha, Magnus, Mikkel, Ulrich, Mads, Tronte, Agnes, Noah, Charlotte, Elizabeth, Franziska, Bartosz, and Celia. Just gone. Just no longer there, never existed. However, other characters who had died, including Regina, Peter, Katerina, and Hannah, are now alive. Also, I can't believe Hannah lived. The series ends with a scene set in present-day Winden in the Origin world where Regina is hosting a dinner party for her friends. Katerina, Peter and Benny, who are together, and Hannah and Wooler, who deserves so much better than Hannah, get away. Hannah sucks. During the dinner, the lights go out and Hannah has a moment of deja vu.
This is going to sound utterly absurd.
And shares a very Adam-like dream about wanting the world to end in just unending darkness. And as if that isn't ominous enough, we then learn Hannah is pregnant with Wooler's child and is thinking about naming their son Jonas. Whether this is hinting at the beginning of a new cycle with an Adam 2.0, or just saying that maybe some version of Jonas is gonna be alive in this world and who knows, maybe even be happy, I have no idea. It's possible that the way you interpret this final scene is a litmus test for your outlook on life. I'm a nihilist, and so I'm very concerned that the dinner party's wish for a world without Winden still may prove to be true, even after everything Jonas and Martha sacrificed. Or maybe it is a happy ending and Hannah was just being a downer because her MO is to ruin everything. Let me know what you think Dark's final scene meant in the comments below. And while you're at it, please share any theories about what happened to Wooler that caused that eye injury, because I cannot believe they left us hanging